just told you. She just told you. She just told you. She just told you.
I just got off the phone with the owners and the creators of Cash App and motherfucking PayPal. And they told me to deliver a message to you. They say they did not create that motherfucking Cash App or that PayPal for you to be big. They say, yeah, they around here asking, send me some money, my Cash App and PayPal. They made that motherfucking app for goods and services. Around here with 1 million motherfucking followers, but you ain't got no motherfucking dollars. The one with 504 motherfucking thousand, but sleep on the floor on the motherfucking pilot. You need to get your life together, cause I'm sick of y'all DMing me talking about just send me $5 to my motherfucking Cash App. Donate me some motherfucking money, my Cash App. Oh, big and there. You a homeless motherfucker with 1 million followers. Sleep on the motherfucking floor with the bad bugs, with the crouton, eating motherfucking Long John Silver. Tell you right now. The owner of Cash App and PayPal say they do not want y'all using their platform for begging. It's for goods and services.
Anti-Afro Svengalis, I'm coming back here to give you an update on the PayPal situation. Okay, I'd like to make sure I give honorable mention to Nino Brown, who was highlighted in this video. I received some information from some other anti-fraud warriors, and actually I was provided with this screenshot. Of course, I've taken the person's actual handle on PayPal off, but you see here what happens when you try to donate to Umar Johnson's PayPal. Now, some people were leaving messages saying that Umar Johnson's trying to cover up by asking for personal donations. This is directly associated with the post here where it clearly says Restoration Fund. So look here, it is a rejected payment. They will not allow you to make payments on this account. And so happens, I've been told, and I actually went and looked myself, I was given the link, that post is no longer on Umar Johnson's Facebook, this Restoration Fund, make donations with the PayPal link. So PayPal is not allowing him to accept any money on the scam account, and they shouldn't allow anyone to pay money on this account. Nonetheless, I am leaving the link on the bottom. Use this link. If you go there, it'll bring up the donation page. Scroll down and it says report this account or report this link. Go ahead and use that feature and let PayPal know. Don't ever allow Umar Johnson again to put up an account. And it looks as though they already took care of that because he doesn't mention anything about PayPal. And I think he purged the message because people were surely going on there and telling him my payment was returned. And if you really think about this, you will really see how sick and demented it is. This is someone running around YouTube and social media screaming about strong alpha male. And he's up here begging every single day for money. So what we have here is a full-blown bona fide crash and burn scenario that PayPal leveled against Umar Johnson. Rightfully so. Crash and burn. Umar Johnson is plumb out of options to scam our people. But the sick part about it is he screams and hollers about the white man this and the white man that, and he's using the so-called white man's tools to rip off black folks. And who had to put an end to that? White people had to put an end to that because people were continuing to donate. Continuing to donate to thin air. It may as well be thin air because none of the funds that Umar Johnson hijacked from the black community were ever intended to open up any school. That is the bottom line. How does that equate with being a strong alpha male? PayPal has already dealt with Umar Johnson. They know what he's up to. I spoke personally to people at PayPal. This is a couple years back when I wanted to know just exactly what happened. And they gave me a good amount of information. They didn't disclose anything about anybody's bank account, but they did legitimize that there had been several complaints, and they recommended that I do not donate. The account was on hold. Remember that, people? They strongly recommended do not donate, and tell anyone else if they have concerns, do not donate. So they did a favor to many people. Although I was never going to donate, it's like the cornered rat syndrome. Umar Johnson and people like him go around trashing the white folks only for the purposes of coming around, turning around, and trashing you if you dare not to give them money. Money for what? We have zero obligation to support Umar Johnson or any other black person. If you want to support your brothers and sisters, you can. And I know plenty of us do, but that is not an obligation. That is nothing you can be shamed into. That is nothing you can be beat over the head. That is nothing you can be threatened into, at least not legally. So the goal is to make you think the only way out, the only process we can achieve is to completely and totally eradicate all dependence, all collaboration, all communication with white folks. And you turn around and you look and see how they are doing exactly what they say that we shouldn't be doing. And in the meantime, they want you to give them money just so they can continue to spread their bullshit lies. If somebody decides they want to go ahead and fall for that shit, they can fall for it. I'm calling it out just as I see it, especially since fake titles are used to promote this disgusting, vile, degenerate message to give Umar Johnson money. And how in the hell will your life ever be improved by giving Umar Johnson money? It will never be improved. Umar Johnson is the cornered rat syndrome. He has nowhere to go, to the point where he is going backwards after complaining about PayPal. Just sending PayPal, that video alone should get them never to allow him to set up an account. They do not have to accept people who request an account with them. It's not a public company. It's a private company. They can be selective. They can decide you are not appropriate. They can decide that they don't trust you. And PayPal does collaborate with the Justice Department. For those of you who are not aware, I had indicated that when PayPal first got started, they had a lot of problems with drug dealing and money laundering. And then they had an agreement with the Justice Department that they would make sure that they authenticated the identification of individuals who set up accounts. And you're going to be on alert for anybody setting up a new account and suddenly transferring several $100,000 or large amounts of money. Trust you me, people, they're on the JOB for people like Umar Johnson, for any scam that you can think of. And Umar Johnson already has a history with PayPal, but him going back to PayPal is nothing but sheer desperation. Now, if for some reason PayPal lets Umar Johnson open an account for personal whatever reasons, how much money do you really think Umar Johnson's going to get? He's not going to get 1 red cent. So what he has to be able to do is lie and say, this is for the Frederick Douglass, whatever you want to call it, Hellacious Hazmat Central, aka school. He has to be able to say that to make it seem like he is doing something so he can get more money. Even the average lame brain is going to think twice if Umar Johnson suddenly says, send me money for my personal expenses. Send me money because I need it. People are really going to think you scammer because you've been telling us all along you need the money for the school, and now you're telling us you need the money for yourself. More people will stop sending money. It is just a very, very small number of people sending money, and how much are they really sending Umar Johnson? I still think he is using those resumes to go through those resumes and beg people for money through the resumes, encouraging them to send money orders. That's what I think Umar Johnson is doing under the guise of a false promise of a job. That's Umar Johnson. I guarantee you that's what he's doing. That's why he keeps begging for resumes. He's got no plan to open any school. He's doing this only to rip off the black community. And the clock is winding down, people. The clock is ticking. And this is worse than any sudden arrest because little by little, all the opportunities to scam us, our community, all the opportunities to continue to scam low income, disenfranchised communities that he knows good and damn well don't have a legacy of standing up and staying strong and unified in the fight. That's what Umar Johnson takes advantage of. That's exactly what he takes advantage of. But the time has come for this bullshit to stop. And he cannot go to GoFundMe. He cannot go back to Cash App. He can't do anything with PayPal. And so what does he do? He goes on these radio stations with these canned interviews, thinking he's going to threaten people and talk shit about people who dare to speak the truth about him. Nobody is afraid of Umar Johnson except for the people he has managed to blackmail and threaten. I don't care anything about what Umar Johnson or any of his flunkies have to say about me. I'm most certainly not afraid of any of them. I made it very clear. I will raise all kinds of hell if any of these people make any attempts to contact me or do anything along those lines. And I'm going to keep saying and doing what I always have been doing. Who the hell do they think they are to tell us we don't have a right to speak while they're up here lying about how much they want to take down white supremacy? No, they are acting clan with a tan with their slave master tactics. And I, for one, have never even considered going along with this shit. I don't want any slave master. I don't want a white slave master, and I don't want a black slave master. I want no slave master. I will never acquiesce to anybody telling me I can't open up my mouth and speak my mind and report fraud. I will do it every single time, and there's not a damn thing anybody can say or do to stop me. And I hope many more of you hop on board. These fools really have people convinced that containing the crime primarily to stay within our own community, where it's basically cannibalism, and you are a traitor if you dare to even think about defending your rights not to be a crime victim. Are you out of your minds? If you expect this, yes, they are out of their minds, and I will never go for that. Never in a million years. There isn't a community in this world that stands for that. They are going to speak up. They are not going to sit here and be held hostage, except for our community, because far too many people have been convinced that they have something to gain by not letting the authorities know that they're being victimized by their own people. But the second a white person dares to look at you the wrong way, you want to file a lawsuit. What the hell? You're not going to get anywhere with that. You better start in your own communities and deal with the people who are mistreating you the worst. People like Umar Johnson. I will continue to make it known. I will never grow tired of saying it. There is no way in hell I'm going to shut up and stand by and watch this fraud wreak havoc in our communities. I will continue to report. And more people agree and support this concept. We're going nowhere fast by this lame brain screaming about white supremacy while we treat each other like shit. It certainly is worth repeating. It has to be repeated. None of these fools run any of these social media platforms. They don't have any legal responsibility to dictate what anybody can say. So how in the hell does it make sense that they think they can tell people to shut up and not speak freely? It makes you wonder just who these people have been dealing with. You are on a social media platform that has guidelines, rules, and regulations, and none of these fools can tell you, Umar Johnson, any of his flunkies, what you can and can't say. And more importantly, they sure as hell can't dictate who you're going to deal with outside of the social media platforms. So if they have convinced people to really think that they can't speak freely, That proves again just how much of a hypocrite or how much hypocrisy that's coursing through their veins. And they use it for monetary gain to guilt black folks into not defending themselves. Well, I tell you one thing, the best way to defend yourself is to never relinquish your dedication when it comes to heeding the warning fire. Beware.